Hey there travelers, Mag and I here on day 54 of our trip across the United States. Now today was originally supposed to be an admin day. We decided to move on with that instead. It was kind of gloomy and a little rainy this morning, so we pushed on through our miles from the time we woke up until now, right about noon. We're shooting here from Croton, just on the other side of the dam. We just got to watch them let the water go out. It was pretty cool. It was also a chance for Aichan to get in her steps this morning, quite literally. Even though there was a graded trail down to the river, for some reason she felt like doing the stairs the whole way down and up. Okay, that works for me. That gets her workout for the day. Because for the rest of the day, we're mostly going to have park and grabs like we did this morning. We still have a lot of miles to cover, and we do have a lot of interesting targets along the way. So we're going to show you the sights as we work our way through the day, with Muskegon, Grand Haven, and then finally ending the day in Mount Pleasant. Looking forward to a day of beautiful sights and a lot of miles covered. So come along with us.
Aichan and I woke up early and immediately got on the road from Mount Pleasant. We didn't take our first walk of the day until we reached the Croton Dam on the Muskegon River. For some reason, Aichan was insistent in taking this as the Stairmaster course, despite the fact that we were walking right next to a graded trail. All of these stairs down to the dam and then back up again are essential for her health. She's still pretty tired from the 8 miles we put on a couple days ago, and she needs to stretch those muscles every single day. And then we were moving again. As it turns out, today would have lots of interesting geocaches. We encountered several birdhouses along the way, but usually they're within reach. This one took a little more creative thinking to get to, however. Once you release this pin, then you can drop the birdhouse down to a level that's accessible for a finder. With that little puzzle solved, there was nothing between me and adding my name to the logbook. The sound that never gets old. Sometimes we found where we're sure the geocache should be hidden, but what's inside was not a container at all, but a cute little mouse trying to make a home. Have you seen the geocache, little guy? Beside cool placements, which always win in my book, the ones that always stand out most in my memory are unique containers. When I approached the light at this pavilion, I couldn't help but notice the lack of electricity going to it. Well, this requires further investigation. Ah, very clever. But since I'm in the game more for the locations than the geocaches themselves, I'm always happy for one that's a simple find. Like an ammo can tethered to the corner of a busy intersection. A geocache like this should have plenty of swag in it. I made sure to load it up before moving on. A good gadget cache will have you work for it a little bit. I had to break out my old pinball arcade machines to get this container free from its holder. And since we got our day started off with a birdhouse, it only made sense to finish the day off with a birdhouse. And this one was actually handcrafted by one of the Michigan State Park employees. Definitely a lot of good geocaches today, but there were a lot of good destinations to see as well. One of our first stops was the Vietnam Veterans Memorial in Muskegon Heights. This particular virtual geocache is dedicated to the hider's father, who served in Vietnam in the 173rd Airborne Brigade. From there, we made our way into Montague. The sailboat trees along the Riverwalk really caught our eye. These capture the sailboat theme from one side and the trees from the area on the other. Then just down the street from there, we found the world's largest weather vane. At 48 feet high and 26 feet long, this enormous schooner dominates the skyline. We also were lucky enough to find the world's largest brown trout sculpture today, too. This massive catch weighs in at 25 feet tall and 8 feet wide. In the late afternoon, Aichan was showing signs that she was ready for another walk. So with a little encouraging, I was able to get her to join me on the History and Legends virtual cache. This seemed like it would be just perfect for her. It's about a 1 mile out and back along a beautiful, well-maintained trail. Each stage along the way entertains finders with tales of legends and myths of the area. As with most stories like this, they should all be taken with a grain of salt. For the most part, we just enjoyed the time out on the trail. I know it kept the dog entertained, because she had many crossing obstacles to keep her engaged the whole time. The trail was easy enough to follow since it was marked by these Boy Scout markers all along the way, but some of those trees seemed ravenous. You know you're approaching the end of the trail when you reach the old bridge crossing seen here. It's a great time to stop and enjoy the view with many fish passing under your feet. Even Aichan, as tired as she was, couldn't help but notice him swimming away down there. And the last stop on the route is the castle. This foundation is all that's left of a hotel that used to reside here. We spotted a tank at the VFW in Oceana and immediately had to stop. I guess I've got to figure out how I can get one of these for me too. This was a great lead-in to the Oceana County Veterans Memorial just a ways down the road from there. Dedicated in 2013, this memorial sits on the edge of Heart Lake. The American flag, Michigan state flag, and POW flag fly over the monument year-round. And it's hard not to appreciate the view over the lake from the memorial. Already a very well-done Veterans Memorial, it's further accented by this jet plane from the Korean War. It's always cool to get up close and personal with historical military hardware like this. And then in the blink of an eye, the sun was going down again. How does this always happen so quickly? It feels like we just got the day started. Oh well, just enough time to pop in on the White Pine Trail State Park for a visit. This portion of the trail is centered around the Paris Fish Hatchery. Why Paris, you may ask? Because of course, Paris is home to the famous Eiffel Tower, as seen here. Yeah, I didn't think that's where this was located either. But seeing is believing. So welcome to Paris, as we say goodbye to another day on the road.
Well, travelers, that ends another day out here on the road. Today was a pretty darn good day. We stayed right on schedule with what we wanted to do throughout the day, and we had a good time with the geocaches that were out there for us. We're going to end our day in Mount Pleasant, right where we want to, and then we'll go ahead and get on schedule tomorrow with the last push to get to Wellston. In Wellston, I'll be taking a couple admin days, but we'll also be going after Michigan's oldest geocache out on Power Island. I'll be joining up with TruaxOutdoors, and we'll be canoeing together to get out to the island. So let's hope all the conditions go well and that things line up the way they should. Can't wait to see what tomorrow brings us, and then I can't wait to catch a break for a couple of days as well. Like this video, subscribe for daily updates, and we'll see you out on the trails.